Our fearless leader, Roger, is under the weather today, so we're not going to have him today, so we're going to send healing vibes to him. And everyone who isn't here today, send loving vibes.
Everybody on YouTube, send
hello to
loving
everyone on YouTube.
vibes.
Yes.
So we are small yet mighty this morning. We hope that will work okay. So we'll take some prayer up here, too, while you're at it.
Yes, we will. Here we go, guys.
We invite Pat Wood up to be our platform assistant this morning.
Oh boy. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming, and welcome to those of you online. So, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. It's really good to have everybody here today. The reading I chose for today is called The Sacred Pause, a passage for the turn of the year. As the festive lights of 2025 begin to soften and the echoes of our Christmas celebrations settle, we find ourselves in the sacred between. The rush of the season is past, leaving us here in the quiet, hallowed breath of a northeastern winter. Look outside and see the gift of this season. In the crisp, biting air and the skeletal beauty of oaks and maples, there's a profound invitation to stillness. Like the earth beneath the frost, we are being called to turn inward, to breathe deeply, and to trust in the silent growth that only happens in the dark. Let the chill remind you of your own warmth, and let the blanket of white remind you that there is a time for everything to rest. In this moment, give yourself permission to simply be. You do not need to rush to the new year. Instead, carry the peace of the manger into the solitude of the woods. Let your breath be your prayer, exhaling the weights of the year gone by and inhaling the fresh, cold promise of what is to come. As we stand on the threshold of 2026, we look forward not with anxiety, but with a triumphant and quiet hope. The light that entered the world at Christmas does not fade. It remains a steady glow that will guide us through the winter months and into a year of transformation and new beginnings. May you find joy in the ordinary, encouragement in the silence, and strength to walk boldly into the light of a new day. And so it shall be. So again, welcome to our wonderful Unity. First of all, we have chaplains. Yes, we do. Thank you, Dennis. Yay. Thank you, Deb. So for those of you wishing to have a little one-on-one prayer time, our wonderful chaplains will be at the rear of the sanctuary. So please take advantage of their wonderful gifts. Okay, we have our opportunities for prayer. We are a praying community, so please use, obviously, our ministry, and obviously to use our answer box, which is located in on the Bradford side. What's happening at Unity? Today, we have the gift of a wonderful speaker, Joelle Lydon, who will be giving us today obviously our speech at Loving as a Living System. Today is our service message. And then this afternoon, if you can, please join us at 11:45 for her workshop, Tending to Love as a Living System. So we do hope you can join us for that. Thank you. Next, New Year's Eve, Burning Bowl service. If you haven't come, it's a wonderful, wonderful, exhilarating program, so please try to join us. However, if you cannot join us, you are welcome to send in your releases via the website. I guess there's a link there if you're not able to attend in person. And right after that, Sunday the 4th, we're having our White Stone ceremony, and yet again, a very beautiful way to start the new year. So again, please try to join us to set your highest intentions for the new year. And Unity office hours are going to be scaled back through the holidays. Call ahead or email the office at unity.albany.org. And if you're nice to me, maybe I'll give you all their cell phones so you can just call them anytime. No. They deserve the holiday rest as well. I got you, Bridget. Anyway. And today's daily word, blessings. Blessings come into my life in the most unexpected ways. I am blessed to live each day in the presence of God. As I turn within and quiet my thoughts, I open to God within. Grounded in this presence of wisdom, love, and peace, I feel connected with the divinity of all things. In this awareness, I become newly aware of expressions of God everywhere. I feel blessed to behold nature's beauty, perhaps snow glistening in the moonlight, or sun warming the earth, and birds soaring across the horizon. I find joy in smiling faces. I hear the laughter of friends sharing simple pleasures. I enjoy the beauty of holiday decorations hung with care and appreciate the sacredness they represent. Acts of selfless service show me God's love in action. I am grateful for these blessings and for my infinite unfolding good. And today's passage is based on Jeremiah 17:7. Blessed are those who trust in the Lord, whose trust is the Lord. And so it is. Amen. And now I return you to our wonderful music team. So thank you all today. Thanks for being here.
Oh, yeah, I need a mic. Good morning. This is a small but mighty crew in here. And welcome to you who are watching on the live stream or listening to the recording later in the week. I am thrilled to add my welcome both to my beloved community and to my friend Joelle, who is going to share her wisdom with us today to invite us to find our own wisdom. And it's beautifully poised between our Christmas Eve service and our New Year's Eve service. So I hope that you can stick around and join us for that workshop. On a personally selfish note, today also having somebody else do the talk meant that I got to go to the 8:30 Mass at St. Vincent's and be part of a blessing at the end of that liturgy for my dad on his 90th birthday. And yeah. And this is Holy Family Sunday. So the readings were a reminder that the Holy Family and how that Holy Family lives in us, but the story of Jesus as an infant and a toddler, as Father Kerwin so beautifully reminded us in his homily, that Holy Family was a family of refugees. They were warned in a dream that the empire of their day was a danger to them. And so they fled as refugees to Egypt. And so for those of us who here are all immigrants, maybe our ancestors felt like refugees also. But I felt very blessed to be part of the family line, to have a dad who is turning 90, when that feels like a blessing. And to know that the way that we are able to embrace each other in friendship and in love is a blessing. And so I invite you to think about your family's path here, the sacred ground that was sacred ground before we arrived, in whatever form we arrived, in this land of the Mohican and the Mohican and the Mohawk land that we are on. So more to come about that. But on this day that feels like the Holy Family living in love, and I recognize the Holy Family that we are, I also invite you to notice where in your family you might be hungry for reconciliation, for peace that is beyond our human understanding, because that is also a thing. And so as we come together to remember the ground we stand on, that the Creator is our starting point, that givingness of nature, of each other, of love is our starting point that leads us into community. Hold all of that gently, hold all of that deeply, hold all of that tenderly, and then let's say together our community affirmation. God is the divine givingness of the universe. We are one with the divine flow. And all of those places in your own life, in your own heart, in your own relationships, that cry out for transformation, the blessing of transformation. Invite them into your vision, into your heart and mind. And know that we hold that with each other and for each other as we then affirm together our vision. We envision a world transformed through the spiritual awakening of us all. And as we awaken to the love and the light that we are, that then leads us to embrace the love and the light that we see all around us, even in those who have forgotten their divine essence. And so together we say the words of our mission. We embrace and embrace the divine essence of all beings through prayer and service in our community and in the world. And we come together to experience that love and oneness so that with confidence and trust in each other as the Christ light, we say this affirmation. The power of Christ love now releases me from any sense of separation from spirit or others. There is only one presence and one power in my life as in the universe, the all-loving goodness of God. And so it is. Amen.
So blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed.
Now try it.
Yay, can you hear me now? Ooh, yay! Let's take that beautiful energy of that song, feeling so blessed, and bring that right into our hearts. So take a moment, if you feel comfortable, to place one hand on your heart, one hand on the core center of yourself, and close your eyes if you so feel called and comfortable, and turn your gaze inward. And together, let's take a nice deep breath in and let it out. And let's do that 2 more times together as a community. Deep, deep breath in. And let it out. And a final deep, deep breath in together as a community. Deep breath in. And let it out. Allowing your breath to just come to a normal pace. Keeping your hand on heart, hand on core center of self if that feels comfortable. And take a moment here to just notice maybe there's some mind chatter going on. Because it took some doing to get here on a Sunday with all the holiday activity and the snow. Allow that chatter of wherever you came from to just drop into your heart. And if you can envision, if you're a visual person, you can see your heart with this big open mouth just taking all of that chatter in. Delighting in it. And allow yourself to settle right into your heart, into the privilege and blessing of being here together today. The privilege and honor of being here every Sunday that we can get here physically, and every Sunday that we can be here virtually, and we get to be here together. Continue to bring yourself and your gaze further and further inward, deeper and deeper. And I'll be quiet for about a minute while you settle in. And together, dropping your chin to chest, allowing your eyes to open, reorient yourself to the space, to each other. Bring your gaze up and look at the wonderful people that have come to spend time with you here today. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you, Bridget. Thank you. I was going to say thank you, Roger, but apparently Roger is not feeling himself. Hi, Roger. Hope you're at home taking care of yourself. But thank you for the privilege of speaking to you this morning. You know, just a few days before the burning bowl ceremony, it feels really lovely, and it's this moment where we're beginning to loosen our grip on 2025, because it's been a bit of a grip, maybe a white knuckle ride. And we're beginning to maybe open up our hands, our hearts, ourselves to what is possible and what is coming in 2026. Because today doesn't feel like just another Sunday. It feels like a threshold. And we're standing at the edge of a year that asked a lot out of us. Emotionally, physically, spiritually, relationally. And we're on the brink of another that feels like has this sensation of asking for something more honest, more grounded, more intentional. So I believe that the question before us is not just, what will next year look like? But because we're at Unity and we do understand that the inner creates the outer, we do understand that. I think more the question is, what state of consciousness am I willing to practice as I step into 2025? So there's this sense of agency and privilege and choice and willingness that we enter into the year with. So this year was a monumental one, and it was for me also on a personal level. I wrote and published a book that was kind of decades in the making. So it's based on the relationship work that I do with my clients, but also on very personal experience. It's called Unbreakable Us, Removing the Barriers to Love. And it's kind of funny because, you write a book and you think, oh yeah, you're writing about the subject, but the subject actually ends up writing you. And it pulls you deeper, it humbles you, and it demands more honesty than I thought I'd actually signed up for. So today's topic is love as a living system. And, what could I possibly say about love that hasn't been contemplated? Ever since the first teenage girl in a cave had a crush on the teenage boy in the cave next door, right? Great minds have contemplated love forever. And still, here we are, aching for it, longing for it, fighting about it, misunderstanding it, trying to find it, trying to keep it, trying to make it feel safe. So getting ready for this morning, I was like, where do I even start? So I'm like, I'll start with some quotes. So here you go. I came up with two quotes that I thought might be pertinent to this morning. And the first one is from Jimi Hendrix. Yes! So Jimi Hendrix once said, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, then the world will know peace. The second quote, one of my personal favorites and one that inspired in part the title to my book, is a quote from Rumi. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it, and embrace that. So there's a lot to contemplate in these two quotes. Because first, Hendrix is calling for a spiritual shift where love's force, rather than the pursuit of power, becomes humanity's guiding principle. Where you stop trying to control one another and actually remember that we actually belong to each other. And then Rumi gives us another clue to the great mysteries of love, which is how do we access love more fully, more completely, more consistently? Not in a Hallmark way, not in a way to be like, be nicer, but truly, how do we enhance our capacity to love? And more importantly, how to receive it, because we have a receiving, I'm not going to say problem, issue, challenge. So Rumi suggests that there are inner conditions when love arises and other inner conditions when love is impeded or limited or constricted. And honestly, isn't that our experience? Like, aren't there times when you're like feeling like love gushes through you and you feel so connected and completely, it arises spontaneously and you have no say in the matter and it just overtakes you? And don't you have those moments sometimes? And then don't you also have other moments where you feel blocked, closed, irritated, annoyed, indifferent, self-absorbed? When love feels like so far away, it's like the stars. You can't even touch it. So we often attribute that sort of tendency towards one or the other to like, it all has to do with circumstances or the environment or like to the people we love or we don't love in any particular moment. But what is true? Now, if you're a parent, you know this one, and I just spent 7 days with my son, so I know it very well. We obviously love our children. And truthfully, there are moments when our heart is full and everything that they do feels precious and our hearts swell. And then there are other moments when same child exhibits same behavior, but we haven't had enough rest or we haven't done our practices or our nerves are frayed. When the exact same behavior and the exact same child will be highly irritating. And we experience that differently at different times. So I want you to consider this. I want you to consider that maybe love isn't about what's just happening out there, but that love, and maybe we, with love, are the key variable here. That there's something about us and our engagement with it, our willingness to see it, is actually a key factor in our ability to experience it. So I live outside of Altamont. It's a lovely place to live. I feel lucky to be surrounded by nature. And I like to take walks in the woods. I need to take walks in the woods often. That's on my 2026 goal. But I notice that sometimes when I'm in the woods, I'm really just available to everything that's around me. And this spring, I had the honor and privilege of caring for my dear friend's dog, Harvey Milk. And we walked when everything was just coming into bloom, right? And it was coming back to life, and I could see like the different shades of green, and the dappled sunlight would come through the trees, and the chickadees and the woodpeckers and the towhees were back, and the nuthatches would beep, 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 beep on their way up the trees, and I would like, oh my God, this is just spectacular. It was just sublime to be walking in the woods, watching Harvey just lop around the woods. And then there were other days, same woods, same path, same dog, same little birdies, right? Same little trees. And I might as well have been at the gym, on a treadmill, looking out at the parking lot window. It's not that love isn't there. It's that something inside me, there was a barrier from my ability to see the love that was there. So earlier this year, our community, this Unity community, many of us participated in spirit groups. And we read Paul Ferrini's book, The Keys to the Kingdom, 8 Spiritual Practices That Will Transform Your Life. And at the same time, in my own life, I was like busy writing Unbreakable Us. And when we gathered in our spirit groups, and I think it was the first or second time that we gathered together, when I read the first principle, love yourself, there was a statement in that segment that really stopped me in my tracks. And the statement was, love is a circulatory system. And then he continued and he said, it's like the blood flowing in and out of the heart, or the air flowing in and out of the lungs. It is self-sustaining, self-perpetuating, and once you're in the flow of love, you do not have to think about it. It just happens, like breathing. That line was just like, what? Because it pulled together so many things that I was working with, that I had been working with for a really long time as a student of the Course in Miracles. It just kind of pulled things together there, what I've experienced personally with love, professionally with love, and my understanding of like nature and the seasons and the way things function. So that statement made a lot of logical sense to me. You see, like, for example, crabapple trees. You know what those look like. I think they're around Albany. They don't actually withhold their blossoms because the deer in the previous season happened to gobble all the apples up, right? And the crabapple tree doesn't punish the bees for helping themselves to the nectar of the blossoms. They don't get resentful. They just bloom lavishly every single year, no matter what. And I recognized in everything that I had been writing for Unbreakable Us, the one thing that was missing was a working definition, a shared understanding of what love is. Because we all come and we all look at the word love and we have different ideas of what that is for us. And many of us, myself included, not all, but many of us have been taught to see love as a sort of a transaction, as currency. You must earn, prove, barter for, as a bargaining chip, as a scarce resource that gets handed out in exchange for good behavior. And sometimes, even if we don't mean to, we use it as a tool to manipulate, to control, to manage others into behavior we deem acceptable, or maybe just so they won't overwhelm us. But in truth, when love is used as leverage to keep others in line, to convince them into meeting our needs, or to withhold it when they fail to meet our expectations, it ceases to be love. It becomes coercion. How many of us have had an understanding of that or an experience of that kind of love here in this community? Right? Most of us learned this before we even had language for it. So here's the definition I want to invite you into. Use as you choose. You're more than welcome to disagree with me, but this is what I came up with. That love, the kind that withstands storms, life's storms, is not a scorecard. It's not a ledger. It's a living, breathing system. It's always present. It's always moving. It's always available. And when you embrace love as having these qualities, you step into a new way of relating with yourself, with each other, with love in general. And you begin to trust that love is there even when things are hard. Even when life and circumstances and stressors, and yes, geopolitical moments in history, pull at the edges of our connection. Love does not disappear in moments of tension or hardship. It simply exists. It is not something that we get. It's something that we are inside of, and it is inside of us. So Unity teaches that God is the one presence and the one power active in the universe and in our lives. So when people say God is love, we understand that as a poetic language that points to something a little bit deeper. That the qualities of the one presence, love, intelligence, harmony, creativity, life, are not earned. They are expressions of what is already there. There is nowhere that presence is not. And therefore, there is nowhere that love is not. And never a moment in time when love is not present. So if the presence is within us, at the very core of our being, then love must also be within us, fully, completely, always. Which begs the really honest question of why don't we feel love all the time? And this is where a particular analogy helps me. That oxygen is everywhere too, but there are some times, man, I can't breathe. Same with love. It's omnipresent. It's built into the fabric of the universe. But our inner state, our receptivity to it, makes it inaccessible to us. We're like sailboats at sea. We need the wind to be blowing all around us. But this is the part that is about our willingness and our choice and our sense of agency, is if we don't set our sails properly, then there is no way of harnessing, there is no way of receiving, there is no way of utilizing what is there. Same with love. And you just can't will yourself to have it. But love in its truest sense just is. So we have to set our sails. We have to make ourselves receptive to love. Because if the one presence is within us, then the qualities of that presence are also within us. A Course in Miracles states that there's a law of love, and it goes like this. What I give my brother, and you can replace the word brother with mother, father, child, partner, neighbor, dog, fill in the blank. What I give my brother is my gift to me. This is also the law of cause and effect. Karma. Phil Goldberg was here a couple of weeks ago talking to us all about that. And he shared and reminded us that karma, this law of cause and effect, is unalterable. Because whatever energy you put out there is actually yours to keep. And this is where the living system part of things gets real. Because love isn't just an idea, it's a circulation. Whatever we circulate, we put out there, we get to live inside. So, this is where it gets real. Circulate anger, live in anger. Circulate blame, live in blame. Circulate judgment, live in judgment. Circulate criticism, live in criticism. Circulate resentment, live in resentment. Circulate love, live in love. The choice is ours to make every moment of every day. Now, years ago, my husband, my now husband, and I were, when we were still dating, my son, who's now 30, said to me, I want a relationship just like yours and Matt's. I'm like, yes, I made it. Created something that was different than what I had. An Unbreakable Us was written in part to be the answer to the question that was inherent in that statement to me. It was a roadmap to him. And because he was moved, maybe without necessarily understanding consciously, he was moved by our deep affection for one another, by what it looks like for two people to feel free to love each other. Because love wasn't always easy for me. That's why I wrote a book on it. You know what they say? You gotta teach what you gotta learn. I needed a lot. There was a lot for me to learn. Because in the past, I bottled up my heart. I closed it in self-defense. And at one point, it became unlocked. And I was willing to let that happen. I felt safe enough to let that happen. I felt safe enough to let some of the defenses begin to fall away. And I felt this natural upsurge of love from inside that was really easy for me to give away. It's an inside job, right? And of course, like the presence of a deserving person matters. Circumstances matter. The people you associate with matter. But the deeper truth is, if you want love, and we all do, it starts by giving it. And to give love, we have to learn to access the love that is already here inside of us. We have to create the right kinds of conditions for that love to come out. And when it doesn't come out easily, because sometimes it comes out sideways, as it happens for the best of us, then we have to remember, we have to go back, open up the door again, start again, reestablish the conditions for that love to be experienced and for that love to flow. This is what I teach my relationship coaching clients as a foundational skill set, as a practice. Because when we practice, we remove the obstacles to the divine within us, to the love within us, to the love available to us, from us, and with us. So as I'm beginning to close here, I want to offer one more teaching, one that has served me nicely in navigating love and life, one for you to carry as we move forward into 2026. There's an ancient Japanese legend that shares that each one of us was born with an invisible red thread tied to our pinky finger. And this red thread will lead us to another person, someone we are destined to meet, someone we're meant to make history with. And the legend tells that those are connected and will share a story, but it can't be thwarted by time or circumstance or place. And the thread can get tangled and it can get stretched, but it can never break. And the connection is not limited to couples. It extends outwards towards those who are significant and maybe seemingly insignificant others who make up the stories of our lives. We're all part of that scarlet tapestry. And though these red threads are given to us at birth, we weave them together ourselves by the power of our divine free will. We all get that. So it becomes a living system teaching that love is already present, already here. And the question is only whether we will choose to live as if that statement is true. So today, you might find on your chair or nearby a small piece of red thread at your seat. And I invite you to wear it, tie it on your purse, stick it in your pocket, put it in your wallet, put it on your altar at home as a reminder for 2026, or on your ear. Not as a superstition, but as a practice. A physical cue. A gentle interruption that says, remember. Because we are living in complex times. Geopolitical realities are intense. The collective nervous system is activated and somewhat tapped out. And it is exactly in times like these that love is meant to be remembered. Not as an idea, but as a practice. And as we approach the time of our burning bowl ceremony, this beautiful ritual of release, I want to offer you a couple final questions to carry with you into that evening. What has been running your system in 2025? What fear, what stories, what protections? And what are you ready to release? Not because you're wrong for having it, but because you want something else at the center of your decisions now. We'll be spending some time with those questions during the workshop this afternoon, exploring them in a more tangible and creative way. Because we can't always control what happens around us, but we can practice the inner condition that make love more accessible. We can set our sails. We can return again and again. And we can remember that love is a living system. It is meant to move. It is meant to be given. So with that, may your red thread be gentle and steady. And may 2026 be a year where again and again, perfectly, imperfectly, tenderly, faithfully, you return to love as your decision, each and every moment of each and every day. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll be right out of your way, Carol. Joelle, thank you. So in the living system of love that this community is, we are at that moment of recognizing one of the tangible ways we give and receive that love is your financial love offerings. But as always, that song, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, never fails to make me cry because of the blessing that we are to each other and all of the ways that the people in this community imperfectly and perfectly show up for each other as love. And so I invite you to feel your part in that as we share this blessing together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We are blessed to know that Spirit is our source. Thank you, Father, Mother God, and so it is. Amen.
I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will inside to find my God. I'll go inside to find my God.
Will you join me in blessing these gifts? We pause to recognize the sacred love that these gifts represent, that we then take in and give back out this flow of love here in our community and beyond these walls to the community of Albany and even beyond. That all who see us will recognize the love that we are. And so it is. Amen. Whoops, did I drop my red thread all over already? Well, I could pluck one off my sweater today. Joelle, thank you for sharing your hard-earned wisdom. And I know that in this season when activities are stacked upon each other, I hope that you can take some time away from the busy to come and enjoy time to look inside, to really set the stage for what this intense year we are ready to release and how we want to invite in the coming year. So I love the rhythm of our services over these, in this season of light leading up to our White Stone. So I hope that you can join us for that. And with all of those things that are a part of what we are facing in our own lives, we hold a thought for Roger, and Jerry's having some time with her family. For all of the people who are refugees in our country, refugees in our own lives in some way, that we exile parts of ourselves. And then the very real conditions that people around our country are facing in fear, that we might be active signs of love and protection. And so we offer with our love and intention this prayer of protection over all of that as we say together. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the protection of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. We are unrepeatable expressions of the divine. And so it is. Amen. So small but mighty music crew, you did a beautiful job this morning.
Well, and I wanted to mention, we don't often hear Julia's voice.
We got to hear Julia's voice. We got Pete's leadership. We got Carol stepping in as fire safety to get the old wreath out of here. It all happens. Thank you. And so come down for a snack, stay for a workshop, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. All right, let's rise and bow to your spirit. Seems like a good song to sing today.
Yeah, seems like it is.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
Nicely done, everyone. We made it.
Gosh.
There wasn't even really a flub in there.